Welcome to the Power of Love show, sponsored by the D.D. Jackson Foundation, where we shine a light on loss and grief and how it impacts our lives. We are here to provide hope, resources, and a community so no one feels alone in their grief. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Power of Love show, sponsored by the D.D. Jackson Foundation. We are here to provide hope, resources, and a community so no one feels alone in their grief. We believe that through the power of love, that nothing is impossible with love on your side. I am TJ Jackson, and with me, I have my eldest brother, Taj Jackson.
What's going on, T?
Nothing much, my man. It is 2021. We are in a new year, Taj. We haven't done this show because I needed a week to recover because I wasn't feeling so well. But with that said, everyone, we want to remind you we are live right now on Facebook and YouTube. You could also be listening to us on our podcast on a replay. And if so, we just want to thank you guys for listening. We hope you guys get something of value from the show. That is the purpose of the Power of Love show, is to educate and inform and to help you become more prepared in life. With that said, it's a very open format. It's interactive. We like to make sure you guys know that. If you have questions, comments, we like to pin it up. We like to read them out so that if you're listening to us, you can hear them. And of course, since we've done this format and have no longer been at the radio station since COVID hit, we want to remind you that you can always tweet us, and that is at DDJ Foundation. We aren't checking tweets as we are doing the show live, but in general, you can always tweet the foundation if there's anything you see that you think can be helpful to the community. For the disclaimer, we are not licensed therapists. We are just ordinary people who've experienced loss. We've been impacted by it, and we've learned from it. We like to share our opinions in an attempt to help you overcome whatever it is you are going through, saying that if you need professional help, we urge you to seek it and to find it. Do not just rely on us. So, Taj Jackson, the other thing I want to say before I forget is thank you to the 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. This morning we hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Which has been great because really we haven't really done much on our YouTube channel since the pandemic, since the show. So again, whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, if you have YouTube, or listening to us, if you have YouTube, go ahead and subscribe so that you can always watch this there. But Taj, let's get to it. How's your last couple of weeks? How's 2021 treating you so far?
It's treating me well. I mean, I've just been at home, I don't know if I announced that, Tiana's having another baby. So.
You are too, Taj. You're part of the team. So.
Oh, trust me, I feel it. But
congratulations, man.
It's the juggling of a 2-year-old and then another one on the way, but super excited about that. And, we have a baby reveal video that you've seen already.
Yeah.
That we're going to put online. So I can't really tell you the sex of the baby yet, but I do know it. And so that's been the exciting news. But then outside of the world, just in general, what's going on, it's kind of not been great, in that way, in terms of just social media and everything like that. It's been really draining. So it's kind of great personally what's going on with me in my life, but knowing everyone else is suffering and other stuff that's happening, it's hard.
I mean, I don't know if we hit it, but we are up to 4,000 COVID deaths a day, I think, or very close to it, just here in the States. Of course, here in the States, we are also dealing with the unrest with the Capitol, the Capitol situation, as well as the inauguration for Joe Biden, just the transfer of leadership. It's a lot of things that are going on if you're here in the States. But with that said, like you said earlier, Taj, it doesn't matter where you are. It's just been a very trying year with this pandemic that's hit us all. And, we have to just take it day by day. Saying that, Taj, I think it's a good time to segue into our guest.
Yes.
Because obviously, one of the big factors that has made this year so difficult has been the social unrest and everything that's been out in the forefront. I think I said it last time, where I think because we are all in this pandemic, stuck home and watching social media or the news, we're seeing more of true mirror of things that are going on in our country and in our world. So with that said, though, I should do a proper introduction for our next guest. Today, we are honored to welcome back a former guest and friend of the DDJF, Mr. Selwyn Jones. If you recall from his appearance in September, Selwyn is the uncle of George Floyd, who was killed on May 25, 2020 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, after police officer Derek Chauvin knelt on his neck for several minutes, 9 minutes, while George was face down, handcuffed, and pleading for his life. Today, we remember and honor George by speaking to his uncle Selwyn. And without much further ado, please welcome the one and only Mr. Selwyn Jones. Selwyn.
Oh boy, look at there, look at there, look at there.
Selwyn, that's a GQ magazine. Did you happen to be?
Man.
Yeah, I want to see.
I don't know if I'm in this, man. Somebody told me that it might be a dude that looked like me. Oh, wait, what do we see here? Oh, baby boy.
Oh, that's great.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
Look at there, man.
That looking
Happy
good.
New Year, kids. Happy New Year, kids. Happy New Year's.
Selwyn,
how are y'all doing?
We are great, my man. It's so good to see you again. I love the energy and all the information you brought last time. So it's wonderful to see you back with us to kick off the new year. I want to start by saying, how have you been with everything going on?
2020, I'm glad it's gone. I am glad that it busted. Hey, you remember Fred G. Sanford, let the doorknob hit you with a good Lord split? It's gone.
Yeah.
It's out of here, man. I've been battling, man. I've been, traveling here and there, speaking to people, talking to people, and I've had alarming things seems like they happen, as y'all were saying, every day. Now, first thing I want to get on, so I'm going to get this off my chest. What in the hell was all them crazy folks doing, breaking into the Capitol building? No. All right. They didn't break in. They let them in. Dog, I've been telling people all week, if you're black, and if you don't feel some kind of pain in your heart that we revolted back to that, we need to pull your black card, man, because that's probably the most despicable thing I've ever seen.
Well, this is what I want to ask you too. I think no matter who you were, it bothered you to see that.
Had to.
Black, white. But one thing I do want to say, like you said, when you're black and you watch it, that's the first thing you could think of. That can happen, but and I'm going to relate to you because it happened to a family member of yours. Mm-hmm. When you see gross neglect and gross, gross. What's the word I'm looking for, Taj? Just very
white folks acting foolish.
Okay, so they're very punished. Your nephew George Floyd had a knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. So you have to watch that happen and then watch what happens in Capitol Hill. So I know I feel a certain way as a black man, and I know many black people do, but I'm curious to know how you felt when you watched that.
The same people that entered that Capitol building, which is probably one of the top 10 secure places in the world, got to have high classification to get in there. The same people that walked through there, chased my man upstairs, which he is, you got to give him kudos.
Yeah.
Are the same type attitudes that murdered my nephew because they looked like they were at a walk in the park.
Yeah.
And the first thing I saw when I first looked at it, they were gathering. And hell, after about, I don't know, an hour, there was like 20, 30,000 people. And the first thing I thought was, when are they breaking out the rubber bullets? When are they breaking out the canisters? And I waited, and I figured after looking at it for about an hour, I'm thinking, this is sad. If you are a Caucasian person, you should be sad to know that your people had that kind of feeling in their heart. Hey, do y'all remember Guyana? Y'all remember Jim Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 80s, drink up, my baby, drink up, my kids, drink up. The same damn thing. First of all, how can you lose an election and blame everything else on everybody else and just don't take it? I lost. The same people that voted me in voted me out. You know, I had my chance. I did it for free or whatever you did it for. Hey, I got this. Obviously, I needed to go. Just go. Chill off into the sunset. Why act like a tyrant? Why act like a dictator? You know? And think about it, kids. How many black people would we have? They would have had several 18-wheeler trucks throwing us in the back of the truck after shooting us.
Well, the one of the main things that bothered me, there's many, obviously, but I always try to look at it from the other side. And one thing that I can understand that seems very hypocritical is President Trump has always stressed about law and order. You know, you got to be tough. You got to be the police. We got to always have the police's back, and we got to stand by police if they feel the necessary means to be aggressive or stand the line. But it seems like this scenario that didn't apply, you know, and it's tough to understand the reasoning behind that. We feel we know the reason. We feel the reason.
Oh, we know it.
It's hard for others to understand that that's what goes into our minds, is how we hear the law and order get stressed once Black Lives Matter gets a little bit of a movement, then it becomes about law and order versus Black Lives Matter. But when things like this happen, law and order seems to go out the window.
I think for me, it was more, as you said, TJ, we knew it. We knew, you know, as Black people, we knew it, but this was more confirmation. What surprised me more was, you know, other people, I don't even want to say finally waking up, but this was a surprise to them. And that was what shocked me, was like all this stuff, other stuff has happened. Why would this be the surprise in terms of it's always been leading up to this. It's like, you know, people weren't marching just for the sake of it. You know, it's like, there's reason behind it. And thank God there's cell phones now that capture half this stuff.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
And it would be, you know, authority against, you know, minority.
And I want to say this real quick before Selwyn, you jump in. It's super important that people know this, because one thing is, I'm very a compassionate person and I love everyone. I know Selwyn does, and I know Taj does. Selwyn's living in South Dakota. You got to be you got to be open to all different nationalities if you're gonna lay your.
They have one nationality out here, buddy. There's one nationality.
So
one nationality. Less militant.
So the point I want to make is, I don't want anyone, if you are non-Black watching this, thinking we are attacking you or don't like you. That is not the case. We have nothing but love, and that's one thing that I've always heard from my family, and I know about Black people. We are the most forgiving and compassionate people, and that's not the point. The point is, we're just trying to bring awareness to those who don't understand what it is to feel Black or to be Black. But our love is for everyone.
I have freckles, so somewhere down the line, somebody did something. Just saying. I believe strongly in Black lives, but what I believe in wholeheartedly is all lives. Mm-hmm. And what we saw last Wednesday threw us back. What coronavirus it's been horrible. God, it's been taking lives. And it's been taking more Black lives than it has been any other lives because of the history of healthcare that most Black folks have gotten. And you sit there and you're waiting and you wait. And then you start seeing people tear down windows, climbing up, scaling the side of the Capitol building. And you get a feeling in your heart that think, wow, we really don't belong here. Because if somebody would blatantly do this, just saying, man, this is what we can do. David Chauvin murdered my nephew in the middle of the street at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and he didn't look like he looked like it was just a regular day because he's gotten away with it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
White privilege, and please, Caucasian people, hey, I have biracial babies. One of the reasons why I'm an expert at this is because I have chased Caucasian ladies since 1975. Just saying. And when you see these things happening, man, it rips. It's one of those things that just takes your heart. But as you said, nothing surprises me right now. Black Lives Matter, they had 468 people arrested. That was only a 2-hour march. 468 people arrested. What are we going on now? 72? There were dudes walking out of the Capitol building with statues and stuff. Just like nobody could see them.
Yeah.
Like Cat Williams. Can you see me, man?
And you know what, Selwyn? I think another point, what you were referring to in the beginning part of what you were just saying, it's tough to watch as a Black person to see that happen. And an image that stands out to me is the image in the Capitol building where the guy is holding a huge Confederate flag. And that's an image that wasn't graphically made. That was a real image that is happening in 2020 in our country's sacred land, or in our like you said, was one of the most secure places in the world. So for that to be able to be shown and for that image to even exist is something that we as Black people have to kind of deal with, because it's like one of those things. It's like, how did he get that flag in that spot? I can't get any flag in that spot, but he was able to get that flag in that spot. So it makes you wonder: is someone in on this?
You don't have to wonder. You don't have to wonder.
So
the damn guards are sitting there going, "Hey, man, let's get a selfie." That's crazy. That's absolutely insane that we live in a world that people think that little of us. And there was a whole lot of people that thought that little of us, that it didn't matter. It's like one of these things. I don't give a damn. This is for our cause. This is for our cult leader. And we gonna go into the Capitol building and tear that son of a gun up. And guess what? We're not gonna get shot. We're not gonna get arrested. The only reason why they're getting arrested now is pretty much the same thing that happened to my nephew. People raised hell.
Yeah.
How the hell can you be on Nancy's, put the Speaker of the House desk with your feet on the desk and leave her a note?
Yeah.
And think about it. Think about the totality of this. I went into one of the top 10 secure buildings in the world. I put my feet on the Speaker of the House desk and wrote her a letter, chilling out.
Yeah.
So, Selwyn, let me ask you. It is crazy. It's beyond crazy. Let me ask you this. I think we all know how Blacks are feeling at this moment and what we are thinking for the most part in regards to the Capitol Hill situation. What would you advise, or what would you say to someone who is not Black right now, just in terms of in a positive way? What would you say to them to encourage them for understanding and for growth as humanity?
72% of America's Caucasian. That was only about 2% at the Capitol building. Everybody's not bad. Everybody's not bad. Black people aren't bad. White people aren't bad. But that was a bad look for white folks. If you're white and you looked at that, and if your heart, and one thing about my nephew's death, everybody's eyes, ears, hearts, and souls are open. If you looked at those people and you didn't feel bad for being white because because of such idiotic statements that they were making, come on, son. If you would have had a youngin that did something that bad, his ass wouldn't be able to sit down for a year if he disrespected you like that. You know what I'm saying? I would have beat the brakes off of him.
Well, what I've seen and what I know a lot of my friends, it's the word is embarrassment, and they felt that. And that's to me, a true, honest, natural way to feel. And like you said, Selwyn, It's obviously way less than 2% that was there, but maybe 2% were in agreement with all that was going on. Whether you were at home in a whole nother state saying, go do that, and cheering it on. I think that's what the 2%. But either way, like you said, it's an embarrassment. And yes, Hodge, please.
I got banned from Facebook.
I think that it's a different upbringing as well. And I mean that in a way that as Black people, we're taught we represent our whole culture, our whole race. Basically, if one Black person does something wrong, basically, if you do something wrong, you're muddying it up for the whole race. Basically,
I don't think it's not you and your family; it's your race.
Not because it's like we have to walk that fine line so well, basically, because they're ready to pounce. They're ready to put you as the poster child of the bad person or whatever it is. So you have to literally walk on eggshells. While if you're a different race, it's like there's enough of them that it's like, oh, that's just one bad apple. That's not everyone.
That's not the norm.
That's not the norm. But when it's a Black person, it's like oh, that's the norm. They make it the media.
We're animals. We're monsters. We're animals. We're stupid. We're ignorant.
And that's it.
We ain't stupid or ignorant enough to go in the damn Capitol building and write my damn name and said I was here.
No, that takes a lot of guts. That was like entitlement. Entitlement.
This is how it is. It's just like there's a person that can't read or there's a person that don't want to read. Mm-hmm. You can see, that was stupid. Yeah. Who in the hell gonna go in the damn Capitol building? Hi, my name is John Lewis. I'm from Portland, Oregon. Hello, Nancy. We crazy as hell, but god damn, we ain't that crazy.
But anyway,
300 million people, and you gonna write your damn name. Hey, I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, I reckon that was a bad look, just like David Chauvin. The same kind of hatred, power, and control. Who gonna do anything to us? The damn president of the United States sent us down there. Who gonna do anything to us?
So, Selwyn, I want to know what's been the update in the George Floyd situation. I know before we went on, you told me that Derek's getting his own trial, separated from the others. Just can you tell us? Are you pleased with that? What are your thoughts around that?
I'm going to be serious here for a second.
Yeah.
If you commit a crime, all four of you commit a crime, all four of you should do the time. When you separate it, what they're doing is they're taking the person with the most to lose, and they will do him first. And they will finagle, and they will appeal, and they will put this up and put this up. Keep in mind, he's on bond. Have you ever known, now y'all know some real serious folks. Have you ever known anybody that did a massive crime and your ass was ever to leave the state?
Yeah.
Only person who did that was El Chapo. Now he's in Colorado right now forever. Yeah. That's the only person I've ever known to leave the state. When you commit a crime like that and you get out on bail, you got an ankle monitor on. You can't go to the end of your road. You can go check your mailbox. So I'm not going to I'm not going to talk about this very long, but I'll say this much. Think about it this way. Capitol building. Writing's on the wall. Think about it. They already show you. People show you how to feel about you, by how to treat you. And let me tell you something. When they let his ass out of jail, and when they let him leave the state, that's telling us how they feel about us.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, then them separating the trial, because I reckon in my brain, whatever they're gonna do to him, those other three, they've already seen how they got to do what they got to do, how they got to maneuver this. So I'm just saying, as I hope the judicial system does what it was designed to do, and that is to punish criminals. But once again, there's a reason why there's 2.3 million people incarcerated, and out of that 2.3 million, 1.1 million of them are African Americans. Just saying, they're the reason why. Well, they're the reason for everything. They're the monkey for every tree. That's what my mama used to say.
And I think another reason that's important is I've seen with the Capitol Hill situation, those that have been arrested so far, they're hiring high-powered attorneys to get them off or to lower their time, which keeps them out of jail. And further, where most blacks don't have that privilege to afford that. So it's a very tough situation, and it's a sad, disappointing situation, but it's important to talk about it because a lot of people who aren't black need to understand why that number is the way it is.
We get 30% more time than anybody else does, you know? And hey, you know what? And I'm sure y'all could probably handle this for me. I need $320 million. If you can get me $320 million, we could be billionaires in 10 years. Hell, let's invest in the prisons. Simple. They gotta have somebody to work the prison. They gotta have somebody to work the prisons, you know. So, and that's where our people between the ages of 15 and 35 come in at. Full of them.
Well, that's a whole nother thing. I can't stand how our jail system's a for-profit business type of thing. It should not be that way. It needs to be for help and rehabilitating, and it needs to not be for profit.
There's no such thing as help and rehabilitation. It's all about the dollar, man. You know,
it's unfortunate.
And think about the things, the systematic racism. Even y'all, which have lived on a way different scale than most people, y'all had to deal with it.
It's true.
And you come from one of the most famous families ever lived, and you've had to deal with it. So, what do you think about a crazy ass black dude that lives in a town of 1,200? And
it's true.
They call me. They want to say that nigga word every day.
Well, you know, that's why I try to stay active and promote what's going on and say that way, because it's important. If it doesn't, like you said, it affects me, but not to the level it affects 95, the other 98% of black people. I know it's even way harder for them. So I'm happy you mentioned that. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Selwyn, I want you to tell me about the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Explain that to everyone, what that is. How can we get behind it? What do we need to do? Talk to us.
And the importance
Justice for George, Instagram, Justice for George, Selwyn Jones. You need to hit us up, because what we're doing now is we got to help ourselves. And the best way for us to help ourselves is to have resistance. The George Floyd Policing Act, qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is the biggest thing on it. If a police officer harms a suspect, so that means that if he kills them, he's automatically got immunity. That's bullshit. Murder is murder. Racial profiling. If y'all riding down the street, if we're in Cali, they're riding down the street and see 7 or 8 black people, or Mexicans, Hispanics, the cops pull them over, tell them to get on the ground. No, you can't treat us like we have no rights. The only thing we're asking is to treat us like you treat them other folks. That's all we're asking. Treat us like you treat your people, so we can live, so we can survive. And the only way that we're going to be able to curb some of this violence that we've been seeing is getting that George Floyd Policing Act passed, because that qualified immunity means the big thing. That no-knock warrant. Come on, kids. If you wake up and you see somebody standing in your house, white guy with a hood on, what are you going to do? You're going to run to your mess, and you're going to act like this is the damn shooting gallery. Remember the little games at the fair where you shoot the little ducky? Yeah. Think about it. Somebody let me come in your house, and I talk to y'all guys. Let me come in your house, and you wake up and see my ugly self standing in your bed. Selwyn, what the bang bang? Automatic. Come on, that's crazy to have a no-knock warrant. So if you weren't in my house when I went to sleep, if I wake up and your ass is in there, we got problems. Simple. So there's everybody else's laws, and then there are our laws. And all I'm telling you is this: is we got to figure out a way to get this thing with a happy medium. Let's get that qualified police and that George Floyd qualified police and that's going to save a lot of lives. That's going to save a lot of young black men, white men, Hispanic. It's going to save just a lot of people in general, because we have got to find a way to slow them down. Now, another one of the big things in there is, now, if you to a police, you shoot somebody and hurt him, do we really want him to be the one that is your judge, jury? No, because I'm going to side with my people. They side with their people all the time. So I want to side with my people. To jump back on that splitting up the trials, 3 of them together. What do you think? Siding with our people. I would hate to pray. I would hate to say that the judicial system is going to fail us. But all I know, we looked at television the other night and we seen one of the most heinous things we've ever seen. And we know in our hearts and our mind, and everybody else knows in their heart and their mind, if that was us, we wouldn't be having this conversation today. We wouldn't have been able to go to Oregon. This dude's go to Oregon is doing radio interviews. Matter of fact, one of the ladies that worked for me, she lives in Oregon. She's like, hey, I think I could probably do a podcast with him. You want to be up there with me? Seriously? Wow. She knows him. So, man, this different set of rules that we got going, that we've had going for 401 years. Please, all I ask is eyes are open, hearts are open, souls are open. Hey, Corona gonna leave us sooner or later. Corona will leave us sooner or later. And once that leaves, maybe we can make some changes, because we have to. Kamala Harris and Biden, I sure hope that they make some changes. They promised a lot of things. They promised a whole lot of things, in people's families. So let's just see if they stand up to their word and do what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Selwyn, question for you, man. What's been the most rewarding part for you doing all the activism stuff that you've been doing, and what's been the most rewarding?
I'm selfish. Me knowing that I am making a difference. Me knowing that I'm not stopping. I am, like I said, I was obsessed then. I still don't sleep no more than 4 hours a day. Whenever I can get a chance to go, and if you can see my face, even though it's a GQ face, you see so many people, and this is what gets me. The last people that I would think would be on our side would be those 75, 80-year-olders, because guess what? They were 3 generations from slave owners. And I have a lot of those people that I relate to and touch. Man, they write me letters. Hey, man, you're doing a wonderful job. Thank you. I'm in a book club in Houston that my agent deals with, and these old timers get up there and they said, "Wow, Selwyn, I could see how people would gravitate to you and your humor and your realness." And I met a guy that was similar to you 10 years ago, and I had to make a change. He got shot. He was, okay, I don't want to stereotype, but in every country town, there's a black dude that pick up cans to ride a bicycle. Everybody got cousins down south that ride bicycles to pick up cans. His name is Red Eye. His name is Red Eye, Jedi, Boo Boo, or whatever. But and you see these people, and people neglect people, and they treat them just like they're nobody. And that's one thing we've got to change. Homelessness.
Yeah.
Portland, dog. They've got literal tent. They got boxes that are on the interstate that they're living in. Now, that house that I grew up in was a shack. And some of those boxes are better than the house that I grew up in. And I reckon my story is this: if you put forth the effort and change that thought process, you can make a change. And all it is a decision-making process. I still find it total hard to believe that somebody can sit in the house and they can sit little Johnny on their knee and say, little Johnny, you know, them people live across the street, they ain't like us. They ain't like us because they skin darker. They're not as smart as we are, you know? We got more advantages because our house is big. I find it hard to believe that people sit there and tell their kids to hate somebody because of your damn color, man.
Yeah.
You know? That's the reason why I got in so many fights when I was a kid, because I go to school and little boy look at me funny. Woo-wee. I looked at Roots and I had a damn ball, son. I looked at Roots and went to school and had a ball.
Yeah. I saw Roots about a year ago. That's a powerful film.
The real one?
The original one.
LeVar Burton?
Yes. And if you haven't, for those who are in the community, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go watch that. It's a very powerful.
That portrays how that beginning life was to now, because black people, man, we don't give up. We don't give up. We fight and battle, you know, our ass off, you know, and we're never going to give up. But all we need right now, we need just a little help. We need people that are thinking down the middle to say, hey, man, you know what? That's wrong. A lot of things that's been handed to them are wrong. Yeah.
So, real quick, I have an opinion, but I'm curious to know yours. Real quick, what's your opinion? Why this elder 70s, 80s of non-whites, I should say 70, 80 white? Why do you think they come around and gravitate to what you say more than a different demographic?
Coronavirus.
What is it about coronavirus?
But you're sitting at your house when you're 65, 75, 80 years old. First of all, no disrespect. You have one foot in the grave and the other one on the banana peel. So you better be.
We're all gonna get there.
You're slipping.
So I guess we can.
We're all gonna get there, but you're slipping. And I reckon they sit down and they look and they see all these chaotic things going in the world, and they think about through their life how they were taught to disrespect people because of their color. And their brain is finally waking up and they're thinking, damn, that was wrong. And I felt this way for 50 years, where that guy never did nothing wrong with me. Treat people by the intelligence and their integrity. Don't treat them by the color of your skin. And I hear him saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've got a school counselor that, you know where I live at. Y'all going to come visit me too one day. Anyhow, don't come between October and May.
I'm not coming right now. It's too cold, right?
You know, and she'll hit me up. She'll private instant message me, and she'll go, Selwyn, I'm sorry for how my race has treated you. I'm ashamed of how my race has treated you. But if I say something about it, I'll be ostracized. I'll get fired from my job, which is the school counselor, and her husband, which is a big time farmer, would probably divorce her because she said what was right. You know? So, man, I said.
No, go ahead, Selwyn. Go ahead and finish your thought. My fault, man.
That's the reason why I get to have cool cats like y'all, so I can come on and express myself, and people can just listen. This is a GQ face. Let me get that right. This is the realest, authentic person you've probably ever met that come from absolutely nothing, pooping in a bucket, throwing it in a backyard. And I have no running water, no indoor plumbing, got to start a pump. You use your sister's bath water to take a bath in because girls didn't get it dirty. And I have come through, battled through, and won a battle. And 2020, we all got put back because we watched a man make a man cry, scream, beg, piss himself, call for his mama, narrate his own death, and murdered him. 6 months later, we sat in our homes again because of Corona. And we watched power and control displayed by the same people that have pretty much destroyed our world. Racism don't belong anywhere. Racism, hatred, bigotry, it needs to go somewhere, because what good is this doing? It's making one race look like they're monsters and animals, and you're oppressing another race. And there's a lot of people, y'all, that don't like us, that don't have the power to speak out for themselves. Because you know how it goes. Like you said, those country boys that work at that work at the gas and go is hired, $100,000 attorneys. You know what I'm saying? People, when they can't defend themselves, they normally put themselves in a bad situation. Well, that's the reason why a lot of our brothers have been in bad situations, because they can't defend themselves. And hey, I don't know, maybe we are defenders, avengers, black avengers for the free world.
Well, I will say this. I have a lot of faith and a lot of confidence that those who are watching aren't racist people. But one thing I do want to say to everyone who's watching and listening, it's not enough to just not be racist. You got to be anti-racist, and you got to help us out in terms of, if you're seeing it in your crowd, if you're seeing it at work, if you're seeing it at the bus stop, wherever you are, you do have to speak up. That's the one way you can help everyone and make this world as great as it can be.
Funny thing. Last week I had a little deal. This guy pushes snow up beside my motel. Okay, so I go over there. I'm taking my Bobcat and I'm moving it, and he comes out. He's like, "You're trespassing." My bucket's 8 foot wide, so that means I got 2 foot of my bucket that I can't get snow because it's on his side of the property. And I look at him. I go like, man, what the hell are you thinking? Because why would you push 20 tons of snow beside my motel and let it saturate the ground and weaken my foundation? I can't go get it because it's my property. I called the police. Imagine that, a black dude in a town of 1,200 calling the police. Come help me, please. Guess what happened? I called him. Hey, man, we got a problem about the snow outside my building. You need to come over here because this got to get off, man. I'll be there. What day is it? What day is it? What is it, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday.
It's been like 3 Thursdays ago. I still ain't seen them.
Wow.
So I went over there and I went to get that damn snow from the side of my building, and the police show up. Ooh, so, man, move the truck. I don't want to run into it. I move all the damn snow. He gets out, man, you need to get your property line done. Well, what he needs to do is he needs to not pile snow on my building. Well, it's one of those slippery slopes because the snow melts and it comes down. I would not give one damn. Every time he piled it up, I'm going to move it off. Well, you might find yourself in a bad situation. Well, guess what? I know an awful lot of people right now that would love to come and help me out. So if your ass want to play this game, we can play it. Because we're not going to take it. No. So, man, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of dealing with the same shit that we've been dealing with, that your great granddaddy deal. And we're still dealing with it. People seen it. Now, this is how it goes. People seen those people walking through the damn Capitol building the other day. Now, there are those that agree. I got kicked off Facebook for a week. I just got back on,
What'd you get kicked off Facebook? Yeah, what did you kick?
Because I said, when are they going to start arresting people?
That got you kicked off?
Yeah. Oh, well, I said a little bit different thing. It's a little bit more emphatic than that.
Okay, a little bit more colorful
when
than
in
that.
the hell are you going to start arresting the white folks? Damn, look at them. They're running around like they're in the jungle. Mm-hmm. And of course, I said a couple more things. Somebody commented on me, and I said a couple more things. Anyway, get out of here, kid. So, man, all I want is for us to have peace, for us to be able to. Oh shit! Did you see there's a video? What, the police stop a dude in the car, white guy, obviously. Man, he sit there and he puts his concealed papers out, Yes, I'm packing, and it's right here. It's like, get away from my car. No, get out of my car. I'm not getting out of your car. Get your hand off your gun. No, I'm not taking my hand off my gun. This is
I
my
saw
gun.
that.
I got rights.
We saw that. Yeah.
30 minutes. 30 minutes. Dog. Come to the car. Gun could have been on top of the damn car.
Yeah.
Bam, bam.
Yeah.
So, man, every day I got something to say that's right.
Mhm.
When? How can we make it stop? Will we ever make it stop? Like I said, all we want to do is not get our ass whooped and not get shot
Mhm.
for being human. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, as long as I got young fellas like yourself that let me come on and show this DQ thing I got going on here.
you know, it's important, Selwyn, for people to hear you. That's, and
You
it's
know what,
important
man?
for us to hear each other and for us all to talk and understand each other, so that, our whole mission here at DDJF is to make the world a better place and to have more understanding, more compassion, and to help each other. So your voice is one that doesn't get heard that much. I think there's oftentimes where people think they know what you would say or how you would say it, but it's important to hear it from you.
Communication, education, irritation, and conversation. Because you gotta know what you're talking about so you can know how to fix it.
Mm.
And like I said about the man that can't read and the man that won't read, there's a lot of people that see things that they could do, but they don't want to see it. They don't want to see it. Therefore, those 70 and those 75 and 85-year-old people that be writing me letters and stuff, they finally seen the light. Only problem is they got that 1 foot on the grave and the other one on the banana field. You know what I'm saying?
I think another thing, Selwyn, is just, I think as you get older, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I just think you start being more compassionate and empathetic and start listening and seeing life. It seems like life slows down so you could see reality and what real life is, instead of having your perceptions clouded. And I think in combination with what you were talking about, it's in their eyes, it's the coronavirus, they're all watching it. But I think that combination is the reason why you're getting that genuine love and apologies, because a lot of people, it takes time for them to understand and see it. It just takes time.
Most people don't even understand what I'm saying, but this is the funniest shit. You said slow. Have you ever seen them old dudes that walk like 100 miles an hour, but they're moving about 6 inches at a time?
They're working.
They're working, man.
They're working.
I do honestly believe that they're seeing the light, but the problem is at 65 or 70 years old, you've had to mask that if you really felt that way, because I promise you, they can't, none of these country people in town. I got one dude, my wife's cousin, he'll ride up here, man, I ain't studying them son of guns. Damn them. I don't like them anyhow. And that's the only one that'll stop by here and say, hey, I had a buddy coming through town a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, yo, man, I'm on 212. I'll be at your place in a minute. Hell, it's snowing, man. I'm standing outside a damn road. Looking like I'm hitchhiking. I'm so not used to having people that stop by to live here unless they're staying here. I'm like, damn, hey, man, what's going on? He's like, damn, son, you must don't have no friends. I'm like, I don't have nobody here that sort of kind of likes me because of a damn flag, because of the color of my skin. And you know what, man? That's okay. That's okay, because that flag, every time it's displayed, that's something else we need to do. If that flag is displayed, that flag is a hate symbol, because nobody rides around with a Confederate flag now thinking it's cool. If you have that flag, it's a hate symbol. Then you have, in my little state, a little Senate person told me, Jonesy, do you know that in South Dakota, in some states, it's like 10 other states, body camera is optional. So if the police chief don't want to display the body camera, he don't have to. That's another reason why qualified immunity has to get passed.
Well,
that's what I'm drumming.
Well, I love that. I think it's important. I think every police should have a body cam on, and it should be mandatory. It
Yeah.
should be law. I will say this because you just reminded me. I meant to say it earlier. I saw the situation with your nephew George from the body cam angle of I want to say it was the first cop who was holding everyone away. That was one of the most difficult things for me to watch in such a long time. I watched the whole thing.
Look in his eye.
I couldn't believe I couldn't believe what I was watching. It hurt. It hurt to watch, to see. Well, this is the angle from the police. His camera was pointing to the crowd that was begging. They were doing everything they could to get them to understand and just be a human for a second and understand what they were doing to your nephew. And the arrogance and from the perspective and then, like I said, you get to see the crowd, black, white, women, men.
See the white girl that was nurse that almost got
all of
arrested?
them. She was passionate about getting them off. They didn't want to hear a thing, and it just goes to show you that there's love in every one of us, no matter the color. We have love. We know what's right. It's just the problem is some look at some as below human, as not human. And when they're in a position of power, such as a police, which oftentimes they are because they want to showcase that power, and that's an easy way to do that is with the badge, you get results like this. And this happens more often than this. Your situation with your nephew was in the broad daylight on a street with many people filming. Now imagine what's happening every day in the dark alley at 11 p.m. or at 8 p.m. when it's dark and there is no video. This stuff is happening all the time, and I think it's important. Go ahead, Sal.
Why do you think so many people get shot at night? Have you ever seen an altercation with a black guy that he didn't get shot at night? You only see them show altercations with white guys, and they don't get shot. And I'm not saying black folks kill black folks, white folks kill white folks, Asians kill Asians, Hispanics kill Hispanics. But all lives matter. But we need to fix our race. We need to fix this little problem out and not make it black man hunting season, because it seems like it's hunting season.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems like the whole thought process would have changed with George, because you could potentially have people that are going to lose their life. No, take their freedom away because of a decision-making process. And that Blake, big Blake, I talked to his dad. I don't know. Yeah, I talked to his dad 3 or 4 weeks ago. And they're not even going to charge that police officer.
Yeah.
Oh, you know why? Because he had a knife in his pocket. When is a knife in your pocket going to jump out and bite you?
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, so, you know, man.
So Selwyn, how can people help? Is this the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act?
Yeah, George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. You can Justice George Floyd 846 Gmail. You can always hit us up. You know, we're always looking for somebody to, you know, communicate with, talk to, help us out in any way, fashion, or form. Because just let it be known, this ain't gonna stop. This ain't gonna stop.
We are over time, but you know how we like to do, and you remember from the first time, we want to give you up to a minute to talk about whatever you want to talk about. One last message for everyone who's watching or listening. 1 minute starting now. Someone, what you got?
People in the world, just know that this is some serious business. We all need to love each other. We all need to respect each other. Treat others like you want people to treat you. And we can fix this. And we are going to make a change. We are. Because I do believe in humanity. And I believe that we will make a change. And I know you're waiting for me to go off and say something crazy. And the GQ man is out the door.
I love it.
Man, you know.
So
I gotta laugh. I gotta make myself laugh because I could cry every second of every day. So this is how I keep me up, because I gotta keep pushing. And like I said, kids, I thank y'all fellows, man. I'm coming to LA and we're gonna have a block party. We're gonna have a block party.
You got it. You got it. Go.
Hey man, I will call you soon. God bless you, kids. It's been fun.
So wait, Todd, did you want to say something? Were you going to say something?
No, I was just saying
okay, cool.
Make sure it's after the pandemic.
Stop having babies. Stop having babies.
I'm done, Selwyn. Todd is we don't know, but big congratulations to you, bro. Selwyn, thank you so much, man. Thanks for joining us, and for everyone out there, we appreciate it. We hope you guys learned something and felt something. That is our mission at DDJF, to make your heart bigger and more compassionate, to understand what others are going through. Like we say, you may be in a similar situation one day. You could be a white female that's 30, 40, 50. You never know. You may have a grandson who is darker than all three of us. So you have to understand what it feels like. And the best way to understand is to listen and to educate yourself and to learn. With that said, we wish everyone the best. Taj and I will be back next Wednesday. Selwyn, we want to thank you, my man, for joining us and for being that uncle. All right, bro.
If somebody got a black baby, you better check that milkman. Got to check the milkman.
There he is, Selwyn Jones.
Later.
All right, guys, we're out. Thanks, Taj.
Later.